And finally, we got to this project that in this session we're gonna complete the floors step by step. Firstly, let me open one of these views. Then you'll be given the CAD file so we can download them and then check them out. Here in this part we got the floor plan, the section views as you can see. Here we got the elevation of 0 as you can see. If I want to draw a line, watch this. Then if I measure the distance between the line and the foundation, 1.6, and the scale is 1 to 25. 1.6 divided into 4, 0.4 or 40 centimeters. Then if I model the finishing layer or XL, check it out. Following that, I want to measure the distance, 0.8 and 0.8, 20 centimeters. Measuring this, 10 centimeters. I mean, this part is related to the details. I mean this part. Watch this. That here we got a layer at the bottom and another layer at the top by this way, so that their materials are different. Okay, then I open the details. Afterwards, let us check the details. I want to open them. In detail 1 we got the floorings as you can see. Watch this. For example, if you just check out the layout, watch this, you can see the floorings related to each of the levels: ground level, level 1, 2, 3, like wet spaces and dry spaces. That currently in this part we got blockage. As you can see, we got the blockage made up of different types of stones and also the concrete. Watch this, that we need to model this part between 10 to 15, 5 and 11. So after checking the layout, I get back to Revit. Then I want to open the structural layer right here in this part. Well done. I want to select floor based on the given descriptions. Firstly, we're gonna model the slab, okay? And here, as you can see, between the dry and wet spaces, their structures or the materials are somehow the same to some extent, but however, they got some differences as well. So, firstly, in this part, and we're gonna consider the slope in the concrete layer. And for this layer, between 10 to 15 millimeters and 25 millimeters for the below layer. So I open the type properties, then I duplicate floor str dash floor, and then 01. Okay, very well. After that, in the edit assembly, I insert a new layer, move it upward 450 and 250. We check the preview. Then, from the search box, I want to search for site work. Let's see, what do we have? Create new. I create a new material. Then I assign a name for it. I name it, for instance, blockage or whatever. I name it River Rock. Then in appearance, I want to replace it with others. But as I mentioned before, we'll talk about the materials completely in the future sessions. I resize the dimensions, watch this, to check the default or the preview better. Then I want to select the material for the blockage. I scroll down. Let's see, what do we have? I have selected this, then I have clicked on the arrows to add this, then apply here in graphics. Let me see. I want to consider a pattern for it as well. Again, I copy it. Then for the fill region, as you can see, we want to specify a unique fill pattern for it, for the blockage. So for adding a fill pattern, I can search for AutoCAD hatch pattern. Watch this, AutoCAD hatch patterns. Then we can find some websites that they are providing some fill patterns for download. For instance, let me see this website like cathatch.com that you can search for it and then check out the hatches. For example, I click on these images. For instance, this is okay for us. I click on back. Then in this part for the ground, I like this. I double click on it to download it. Anyway, after downloading the fill pattern here in the website of DWG Free, we can find some free hatches for download. I open the file, 900 free hatches, then I extract it. Watch this, so don't forget to download it. Then I extract the file, Control X to cut it, then I paste it here, delete, opening it, Control X, again I open it, anyway, Control X, and then I move back and paste them here. I delete the extra redundant folders. Here we got the hatches. Let me find the cat file. Let me see. I'm looking for it. Let me search for it. .dwg. Watch this. I open it. Here, as you can see, we got all of the hatches here. Let me find the hatches or hatch of the blockage. As you can see, we got all of them as a sample. Let's see. For instance, we got these two options. I wanna select this one. However, we got other options as well. Here the name is, I copy the name by this way, then I open Revit. Then in cut pattern, and here since I want to associate this hatch to cut, I click on cut pattern, custom, then I want to browse for the selected hatch. Here I search the name and then see if we can find it. Here it is. I select it. Here it is. Open. Wait for a second, please. Then the fill pattern will be imported. Then we can specify the import scale. I minimize this scale. Okay, it is added right now. Watch this. Then for the top part, I wanna select this pattern. I copy the name. Then I get back to Material Browser. I duplicate this. I rename it River Rock 1, and also the next one, River Rock 2. Then I open the first one, I click on fill pattern, I duplicate the pattern, browse for a new one by this way, okay, and not 0.5 for the import scale, and okay, apply. Watch this. This is the result. Here it is, and then I click on OK. Right now we have created the first floor. Then I'm gonna use pick wall. I click on the exterior edges by this way. Then I click on the exterior edges of the walls like this way, and others. Check it out. Very well. Like this way. I just click on these walls for drawing the boundary lines. Check it out. And also these. Great. I continue drawing boundaries. Okay. And after finishing them, I have to edit the boundary lines for the floor. Well done. Then I trim it, trim corner. However, Control Z. I have to connect these two. So pick line or drawing line. Watch this. And I trim this part, and then I connect them to each other. I have to draw another line like this way. Trim. Okay, I trim this part, and I extend this part. I draw a line. Well done. Trim. And then we have to do this and revise it for all of the corners, removing overlaps, intersections, in order to draw a closed curve. Watch this and this part. Trim by this way, line, trim, again here, trim, and line. I extend it and then trim again. Here is okay. I am just checking them and these parts by this way. After that, we have to double check these parts. Here we want to position the columns. We'll check them later. However, as we have talked about the columns, you may have added the columns up to now, but I haven't added the columns yet. Well done. And also this part. Trim. Then I click on finish. If there was an error message, you click on continue, and then you have to revise it. I fix this part. Well done. And firstly, we have modeled the structural floor, as you can see. section box. Let me show it since I have hidden it. Then I want to check the model. Watch this, 1 to 25. Very well. And now, after completing the first stage, then for the other levels, here in the structural level, I open this part, details, details, again, details. Here we got the flooring of the roof, floors, and let me check others. And as you can see, we got the wet and dry spaces. That we got 10 centimeters for the architectural floor, and between 30 to 40 centimeters for structural floor for reinforcing and rebars. And if you wanted to learn how to reinforce the structural and concrete elements, you have to use the Revit structure course. So I select the floor for the integrated floor, actually 300 millimeters for the type. I name it as the R floor. Okay. Concrete and okay. 40 centimeters for the thickness. Then I open the material browser. I search for concrete and I duplicate the concrete here, and then I rename it. It's the R floor concrete and use under appearance, signing a fill pattern. For instance, block fork, big fork, or this. Apply and OK and OK. Afterwards, I start drawing the boundary lines. By this way, I click at the boundaries, exterior edges of the walls actually. I move on. Up to now, we just want to model the general things, since in the future we'll need some additions, we'll need some revisions actually, since as much as we move on, we need more details to be added to the projects. So I continue in a simplified way, by this way, in order to have the process done like this way. Watch this part and this part. Very well. I continue, and also here. Then I trim them. I do not draw other lines, since if we want to add columns, or if we wanted to add some other layers to the floors or to the walls, no, we'll need some revisions. Right now, I just wanted to tell you how to draw boundary lines and how to create the floors in a general way, but not going through the details, okay? I draw a line here. However, we have to check out the CAD file, since I have hidden the CAD file here. By this way. Very well. And also this part. I click on finish, continue. Here we got an unclosed curve that we close it and then click on finish. And we click on don't attach. And here is the top part of the structural floor with high level of details.